What's up, Marvel Snappers, and welcome to another Deck Tech video. Today we're continuing our Getting Started with Pool 3 series, and we'll be looking at the Pool 3 card ApoCOW, who is 4 energy and 6 power, and on reveal discards 2 cards from your hand. Now this is an explosive addition to the discard archetype, as you get multiple discards for a single card play, and really beefs up the Pool 2 discard deck. The remainder of the deck will be all Pool 1 and Pool 2 cards, so if you only have ApoCOW, you'll be able to play this list. If you have any of the other discard cards from Pool 3, such as Colleen Wing or Moon Knight, Hela, Ghost Rider, they're all fantastic inclusions and can make this deck much stronger. Now, to synergize with the ApoCOW, we are going with ApoCOWlypse, who when discarded from your hand gets put back and gains +4 power. With the extra 2 discards ApoCOW is providing, we can get this much larger than you could in Pool 2. Do note that this is a big giveaway about what you're going to do on the final turn. And you need to snap early, and you're unlikely to win more than 2 cubes, unless you can make some pretty sneaky plays. Another payoff for the discard effects is Swarm, who when discarded from your hand adds 2 copies that cost 0. This is a great way to be able to actually spread power on the final turn, as you can play the large ApoCOWlypse but also beef up additional lanes. And another card that gets a lot more value now is Morbius, who has the ongoing effect +2 card for each card you discarded this game. Previously you could only get it to a max of 6, but now with ApoCOW you can actually get this up to 10, and you can play this on a later turn, and it still counts all of your previous discards. This makes it a very powerful 2-cost card in the deck. Our other discard effects are Blade, who's fantastic for 3 power and 1 energy. Lady Sif, who will discard the highest cost card and will always hit the ApoCOWlypse. And Swordmaster, who's 6 power for 3 energy, which makes it a good body, and you're able to discard a card from your hand as well. Another tech we have is the Collector, who says when a card enters your hand from anywhere, +1 power. And now this actually works with the Swarms adding copies to your hand, or the ApoCOWlypse being discarded, and is just a sneaky way to get some extra power on the board that you can play early for 2 energy. If you have Collector and Morbius in your opening hand, play the Collector first, since it needs to be on the board to gain power, but Morbius does not. Rounding out the deck is just some high value cards, such as Ant-Man, who can get 4 power for 1 energy, and is easy to trigger with the extra Swarms. Iceman is just a card we can dump out of our hand to make our discards more consistent and disrupts the opponent. Angela, because it's just still a fantastic 2-cost card, and you can gain a bunch of burst power with it on the final turn with the Swarms. And lastly, America Chavez, just to make sure all of our combo pieces are drawn together more consistently. Now, this isn't the strongest deck, but you're still able to win some cubes with some smart retreating when things aren't panning out correctly, and is a lot of fun if you're itching to play some discard but not sure where to start. With that, let's hop into some games. First up is Washington, D.C. We can toss the Iceman down and disrupt our opponent a bit. Ooh, they also Iceman, and hit our Lady Sif, which is awkward. But at least we can still curve into the Morbius. Jotunheim's going to reduce our overall power, so we'll just toss Morbius to Washington, D.C. for now. Now, this would have been a perfect turn to play Lady Sif, so that Iceman's really hurting. We can go with the Collector for now. Collector will get +1 when we Lady Sif, and what we're really hoping to draw here is our ApoCOW. Ironheart makes me think maybe there's a Wong coming. So let's gamble and play Lady Sif to Hala. That'll be 4 power, and we won't lose the power from Jotunheim, and we don't want to quite cap out our location yet. Ooh, and they Scorpion. So that works out for us. Their Scorpion will get destroyed. Collector gets a buff, and Morbius gets a buff. We have Blade. So we can spread our power a bit. If they Odin here... we get 12, possibly 16. Could also White Tiger into here. ApoCOWlypse should win Jotunheim. Do we gamble it all with Swordmaster here? They'll have a number to beat. But we add quite a lot of power. Let's try this. Because we'll give a bunch of power to Morbius and we get one more tick on the Collector. Alright, and they Wong here. What's their best play line? Dr. Doom would tie us here at 7. They'd end up with 8 in Jotunheim, and the bots get +3, so they'd get 16 here. So they'd be ahead by 4. We lose 1 on the 14. And they go to 8. Yeah, ApoCOWlypse should win the tiebreaker for us if this is a Dr. Doom. And it is. And we take the 2 cubes. That was super close, but we kind of were able to predict exactly what they were going to do. And I think they got baited by trying to get the extra power in Washington, D.C. Let's hop into another one. Alright, we have the Isle of Silence. It's going to be an okay spot for our Iceman. Disrupt the opponent a bit. Okay, and all of our cards get +2, which is pretty decent. We can play the Collector to Isle of Silence just to put a bit of power here, but we'll probably end up playing our larger cards to a different location and not actually fight over this one. Okay, and they get Angela. And the Dark Dimension, which is a bit scary. But we can go with Lady Sif for now. Okay, and they go with a Nova. So they're likely going to end up destroying it. So at least it ate one of the Wakandan Embassy buffs. Alright, if we have any shot at winning this, we have to take the 50-50 on discarding ApoCOWlypse. Although we could, maybe we could hold the Ant-Man, but we're going to need the power. And we'll still end up putting a pretty good lane here, and we'll be able to cap it out with whatever we end up drawing. Ooh, and we hit the ApoCOWlypse, so that was definitely lucky on our part. Oh, and now they have a copy of our ApoCOWlypse, which is a little bit scary. But we should be able to come up over them in 2 of the 3 locations. Our 8-power Hell Cow is going to be huge. We're going to get a couple more triggers on Collector. And as long as we hit the Swarm with one of our discards, we'll be able to fill out these locations. Alright, they play a Vision. And we hit the Swarm, okay. So we gave them a 16 power ApoCOWlypse. Or I guess it would have been 18 power. Which would bring them up to 23 here. So we can just make sure we tie Dream Dimension. Oh, they can move the Vision. Let's go with this play line. It gives us the most power. I'm not sure if it matters where we end up playing. It all depends where they end up playing the ApoCOWlypse. They'll have 21 here. If they play the ApoCOWlypse. It was 18, so they'll have 22. Can we get up over 22? No. This is probably not good, depending on where they move their Vision. Yeah, ooh. They flood the board, so we don't have to worry about our giant ApoCOWlypse. And they call right with the Shang-Chi, so if this is the real Mysterio, we lose. Oh, but it's not. Whew. Super close. They gambled on the Shang-Chi, but we were still able to come up over it. We actually got the Collector up to 6 this game, which is a pretty good showing for the Collector. Let's hop into another one. Alright, first up is the Isle of Silence, so our Morbius isn't going to be able to go in there. We've drawn a lot of our discard cards and the ApoCOWlypse, so we'll just want to make sure we can get the other cards out of our hand that we end up drawing. Ooh, and Hellcow. Hopefully this ends up being enough. We're going to have to go Lady Sif. Ooh, Scorpion really hurts that too. We're gonna have to go Lady Sif. Let's go with the Isle of Silence. We don't know what this is gonna become, and we're very likely to get outpowered in Hala. Okay, they gamble with Storm. We're probably unlikely to come up over what they play here. If it's Jessica Jones, they'll be at 10, and we only have 7 with our Swordmaster Blade. Let's go for Hala, and we're really hoping to not discard the ApoCOWlypse. Actually, let's beef up our Isle of Silence location and plan on winning Hala with the ApoCOWlypse. Okay, and they play a Rescue. So we got baited. We definitely should have played to the Flooding. Ooh, and we discard the Hellcow. This just got real bad. Yeah, we definitely do not have a win condition here. Let's retreat. They ended up snapping anyways. Escaped. Let's hop into another one. Alright, first location is Daily Bugle. So we know they have a Venom, which isn't going to do much for us. Let's Iceman them. Hope it hits something good. When we have the raft, which is going to be pretty hard to fill up for us, but we can play the collector. Central Park makes that a little bit easier. We can Swordmaster. The only card we don't want to hit is the Blade, although the Venom might be a nice way to clean up the raft once we fill it up. Ooh, we hit the Swarm, which is pretty good for us. Get a couple buffs going on the collector. They play our Swordmaster and discard their Nova. So yeah, so we can Venom to still have some space to work with. And we can get the Ant-Man down over here, make us a little more competitive Daily Bugle, and hopefully play a buffed up ApoCOWlypse to Central Park. Oh, now we have 2 ApoCOWlypses. If we discard it, it should retain the 0 cost. Let's go with Angela Blade. Is it worth playing out the Swarms? Probably. If we snap, they might retreat because they know we have the Raft card. But I think it's worth it since we're going to be able to get a pretty good power spread here. Yeah, they just retreat. We maybe wanted to snap on the Venom play, but we didn't quite know how that was going to pan out for us. But let's hop into another one. Alright, first up is Nidavellir, which will be a good home for our Iceman, possibly disrupt the opponent a bit. And they go with a Quinjet. Alright, so we have to be concerned about a potential Devil Dinosaur. Let's try and fight over the big house. Our ApoCOWlypse isn't going to be able to get in there, but most of our higher statted discard cards like Blade and Swordmaster can. And we have backup discard effects, so let's take the 50-50 on the ApoCOWlypse, since we're not going to be able to really even play the Swordmaster next turn if we don't want to risk discarding a card. Okay, and we hit the ApoCOWlypse. Now we have Swarm. And Monster Metropolis. It's early enough that if we snap, they stay. This could still backfire on us. We're not guaranteed a win here by any chance, but this is a pretty strong hand and board to have. We hit the ApoCOWlypse again. So we should be able to outpace a Devil Dinosaur. Ooh. And we get the Hell Cow too. Let's not plan on fighting over Nidavellir, because Hell Cow plus ApoCOWlypse should be able to win a matchup against the Devil Dinosaur. And we'll get a couple more discards going, hopefully get a couple of Swarms now. That was perfect. Okay. So I think for now we just play the Morbius. He's going to be 8 power. Because they could just go with double Devil Dinosaur here. We can put 16 more power into Nidavellir with the swarms. Now it is on. With 2 Devil Dinosaurs, that would be 34. And ApoCOWlypse would take the +3. So I think that's enough there. And if they play an agent, they'll still be at 15, be at 36, and we'll be at 37? Hopefully my math is right there. And then we'll play Double Swarm. Oh, so they actually went after the big house. I guess expecting us to commit everything to Monster Metropolis? But that's not going to be enough. ApoCOWlypse will win us the Monster Metropolis, and the Double Swarms come up over them in Nidavellir. We take the 4 cubes. They may have anticipated us to commit a card to buff up the Ant-Man, but they still wouldn't have come up over us there, so not sure what happened there, but that was a fantastic game. I hope you enjoyed the games and seeing hellcow in action. Unfortunately, this archetype requires you to take some risks, and sometimes you're going to miss the 50% chance or the 66% chance and discard the wrong card, but you can retreat and not lose too many cubes. As always, if you have any questions or feedback for me, make sure to leave those in the comment section below. And in the description is a link to a survey that if you have a Pool 3 card you would like explored on the channel, you can vote for it there, and I can see what I can do. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.